Hello, you're very welcome. Today is another of the I lack videos. And in today's video, we're going to explore I lack time, which I think many of us really struggle with. So before I go into what that's all about, my name's Anand. I'm an emotional wellness and embodiment coach, and I support those weighed down with inner struggles, including time. Not so much about time management, but where my time goes on what and whether that is fulfilling. Do I spend my time wisely in the things that energize me or bring me down, or is my time pulled in many different ways? As you'll hear each of these I lack videos as part of this series, you're going to start to see how different elements of these inner struggles are all interconnected. If we're people pleasing, our time goes on pleasing others. If we're a perfectionist, we're spending all our time on cleaning or getting the house right or attaining the perfect body or attaining the perfect diet at the exclusion of other elements of our life. If we find we're a pushover, it's because we struggle again with boundaries. So our time gets lost in doing things for others. If we lack motivation, we use our time just to disappear and not see the reality of our situation. So you can see how each of these inner struggles has a direct impact on time. But often we feel like time is infinite, that we've got the full day, we've got the week, we've got a lifetime. It sounds infinite, doesn't it? Well, last year I read an article on LinkedIn, and it said in it that on average we've 80 summers. And that gave me such a slap in the face and a wake-up call of, oh, well, how am I spending my time? Because I've used 53 summers. So having it reframed in that way made me really take a long, hard look at my time. And interestingly enough, I had clients who are also struggling with not having time for themselves, not having time for the things that they wanted to do. And it's a recurring theme with the clients I work with. So I'm going to use a bit of a case study and some ways that you can see where your time is going on what, and then assess, is it fulfilling you? Are you fulfilled with how your time is spent? I'm going to use the analogy of pocket money. Let's say as a kid, in my day, I got something like 30 pence for pocket money. And you knew with 30 pence, you could get X number of sweets, and that was it. And time is very similar. You might have on average 80 summers. The first 20 to 30, you're going to squander. It's just a given. Because you want to experiment and try out things and test. But maybe as you go beyond 30, you might start to really evaluate where your time is going on what. But perhaps your time is being, I'm going to use the word taken in terms of not that others are consciously meaning to take your time, but they're taking your time. And that might be you're happily giving your time. Or you may be giving your time for other reasons. And that's what we can tease out a little bit more. But you're not going to know where is your time going on what until you actually see how your time is spent. So when I understood the preciousness of time and that we're living in an age where we have so much distraction and entertainment and a million ways to kill time, I felt that this is even more important than ever before. So I created a time wheel tool. It's free. You can access it. I'll put a link in the box below. And what it does is it's a spreadsheet. I'm not, and it's all pre-populated. Well, it's all set up and you just have to put in how much time you spend on what. But there's different categories of where your time might go on, like essentials and hobbies, socializing, work, commute, blah, 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 so on. And you'll put like X number of hours. And as you put in the hours, that will automatically populate a time wheel, which is a visual of where you get to see where your time goes on what. And on average, a person sleeps 7 to 9 hours a day. So you know there immediately approximately 56 hours is gone on sleep. You have 168 hours in a week, just to add that. Another 8 hours a day, so 8 hours a day goes on work, approximately, depending on where you live, and 7 to 8 hours goes on sleep. That's not including life essentials like eating, cooking, keeping your home, all those other things that you do. So you can see, right, 16 hours goes on sleep and work, possibly 1 to 2 hours on commuting, so that's 18 hours. Right, I'm left with 6 hours a day. Doesn't sound a whole lot, does it? That's where you start to see, whoa, my time's precious. Interestingly enough, somebody who I was working with felt very guilty about the time they spent watching TV. And when they used the time wheel tool, they discovered, actually, I do an awful lot more than just watch TV. So the time wheel tool can either highlight a difficulty or it can help you reframe how you view using your time. So that's free. So that helps you to measure where your time goes on what. The next stage then is, well, how do I feel about those activities that I spend my time on? Does it energize me? Is it essential? Because some things are essential. Sleep, work, being able to live. Life essentials. You have to do them. It's not whether you like or dislike, you just have to do them. So, but the things where your time goes on one, whether it's socializing, entertaining, caring for people, going to activities, maybe to please another, or maybe you're going to enjoy it. Ask yourself, does this energize me? Or does it make me tired? Really get critical. Does this activity tire me? Does this activity energize me? Where it energizes, you keep doing it. You're using your time valuably. Where it de-energizes you, see how much of your time goes on what. And that may be where, rather than you lack time, the time that you have is not going on the activities or things that energize or bring you joy. And you may not be able to do this overnight, but at least you can, by having the information there, you can start small. And you are very welcome to book a free insight call with me to talk about where your time goes on what, when you've identified this. And this is where coaching with me, the emotional wellness coaching, can really help you. Just using and I've shared this before with a client who most of their time was going on caregiving. Their family, caregiving, work, and they had very little time for themselves, and they felt very guilty about the small 3 hours that they had a week to themselves. But when we used this exercise, they got such a shock and went, oh my God, I need to spend more time for myself. And they did. And their life is much more fulfilling. And those around them benefit as well because they feel happier. Their cup is more full. Often, in my experience, a person who is lacking time is giving it to others in a way that doesn't serve them, so their cup feels empty. So I would add that I lack time equals my cup is empty. So how do you fill your cup up? You reclaim back your time. And by reclaiming your time, you might think about, well, what can I stop? What can I pause? What can I delegate? These are very powerful questions. And if you want to work through those, I also have a link down below for a workbook on overwhelm. And you can skip all the other parts to that overwhelm workbook and go to the part where you can delegate, pause, stop, reclaim your time. There's lots of exercises there that you can do. So this is not so much about time management, but really this is about, if you're lacking time, understand where it goes, look at where it goes on what, see how it impacts you, energizes or tires you, and then from there it's, how do I reclaim it back? Because once you reclaim your time back, your cup begins to get full because you're putting your energy back in yourself. And that reframes this I lack time to, I spend my time on things that really give me fun or joy or that nourish me, or all the things that make us feel that aliveness, that connection to ourselves and to others. Because interestingly, the more time that we reallocate to things that serve us, the more we can become more generous with our time without needing to trade it. But that's a whole other video for another time. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.